Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, the feature race at Santa Anita on Saturday. 3-year-olds taking their first little baby steps, perhaps, on the Triple Crown Trail. It's the Grade 2 San Vicente going 7/8 of a mile. Let's take a look at this field. We've got 6 for this year's edition of the San Vicente, including Muth, who won the American Pharaoh last year at 2 around 2 turns, who was second in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, and is an Omni-Fig. All 4 of his Beyer speed figures, any one of them would qualify as faster than anything else the rest of the field has ever run.
Yes, just starting back here for Baffert. I'm sure that they have designs on stretching this horse back out, sort of down the road here on the way to Kentucky, Dan. But I'm already prepared to be aggravated by the way this race is going to be run.
Let's throw up the Timeform US pace projector for this race. Now, Slider, the 2, is expected to show some speed. He's returning to dirt after competing on grass in his last 2. Pilot Commander, another one trained by Bob Baffert, went gate to wire in his career debut. But Muth is not a slow horse. We saw that in his first 2 starts. I think if Muth wanted to be up close to the lead, he could be.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to be aggravated for this race, because my opinion of Muth is, and he's pretty good. He was obviously a good 2-year-old, and he won a Grade 1 around 2 turns. I think his future might be sprinting. And this horse, just based on his career debut alone, going 5 furlongs, this horse is wicked fast. And they just have not let him use his speed in 3 starts since.
And now turning back in distance, it'll be interesting to see how they ride Muth. I kind of agree with you. I kind of like him at slightly shorter distances. We'll see how it plays out. The horse with the fastest Timeform US late pace rating is the 1 Moonlit Sonata, who pulled off a 33-1 upset in his career debut, going 6.5 at Del Mar in late November. This horse rallied from off the pace. He looked pretty strong at the end, Mike. One of the also-rans, the 7th place finisher, came back to place in a maiden special with an 86 Beyer.
Yeah, I liked this debut from this horse. He was the longest shot on the board in here, but he didn't look like it when the race was all over, and he did not luck into this win in any way. He made a strong and a long run around the track, and he was much the best at the end. I don't know. I thought this is a tough spot for him. I thought he was pretty interesting, though.
Slider, the 2, faced a pretty promising runner, went second on debut. Second time out, it worked out for Slider. I like that he came to hand in the early portion of this race, settled very nicely off the leader, and when it was time to be produced, Slider puts this horse in his rearview mirror in the final 16th of a mile. Now, the flip side is there's really no closing going on at all.
Yeah, that's very true. I do like the way that he won this race, though. And there's an argument, at least, to be made that he's just better on dirt. I know he became a stakes winner sprinting on turf, but there's an argument to be made that he's a better dirt horse, and they're switching back to dirt here.
Joel Rosario flies out to Southern California to guide Slider, who has speed. He was one of 3 next out winners in the race we showed you. Another horse came back to win a maiden special, is now multiple stakes placed. Muth, the 3, won the American Pharaoh in his 3rd lifetime start, stretching out successfully to a mile and a 16th. And in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, listen, the race was run at a really slow pace. Fierceness sat right close up. Muth was basically second over. He had his shot at Fierceness. He got tired and just held second, but he didn't run poorly at all.
He didn't. He had no excuse in that race. He was only second best, but he ran fine in there. His American Pharaoh was also fine, although that's not a race that I particularly love. And again, Dan, I mean, listen, I'm sure that they want to stretch this horse back out. I like him sprinting, and I would love to see this horse come out of the gate running and go to the lead, because if he does that, they won't beat him.
His uncoupled stablemate is the 4 Pilot Commander, a son of Baffert's Triple Crown winner Justify. Here's the debut. This horse was no secret. Bet down to favoritism. He got right on the lead. They didn't go very fast, 22-4 for the opening quarter mile, but Pilot Commander had plenty left in the tank to win, and the runner-up would come back, and he would earn a 78 Beyer speed figure when running second, and then he graduated with a 79, so a pretty good field.
Yeah, I thought this horse looked pretty good in his debut, and I like that they gave him at least a little experience, because he broke right to the front in there, but they let a horse come up and challenge him up the inside a little bit there. He put that horse away, and then he just kept going through the stretch. He was on his wrong lead at the end, but he didn't stop running. I thought all in all, he looked really good winning that race. I just happen not to love him in this spot.
The 5 Formidable Man has made his first 2 starts on turf. He's now going to switch to the main track, and they're just taking a shot here. He's by City of Light. That horse could run on dirt. This female family is all grass.
Yeah, I didn't like this horse's pedigree to try the surface switch here, particularly against this field. I mean, with Muth showing up, it's not like he finds, some kind of an easy spot.
Richard Mandela also makes the surface switch with the 6 Voltage, a horse that's only raced once on dirt. That was going 5/8 of a mile. He didn't factor that day. He just seems more effective on turf, going a little bit longer.
Yeah, I agree. He's just one of those horses that's kind of hard to make a case for in here. Maybe he'll surprise us and really like the dirt in this race, but I didn't like him.
Let's take a look at our top selections for the San Vicente. The horse to beat is undoubtedly Muth. He's the most likely winner by a long way. I'm curious to see what we get from Slider. I like that they resisted the urge to stretch this horse out and kept him sprinting because he kind of looks like a sprinter. And if they rate Muth, maybe Slider gets the jump.
Yeah, that's certainly possible. I just thought Muth was going to win this race, and I didn't really want to bet it. I put him on top.
Let's hope you don't get aggravated by the rating tactics, if that's going to be the case for Mr. Hernandez. Muth for Mike, Slider for me, San Vicente on Saturday at Santa Anita. Best of luck.